Hello, everyone, and today is day two of our 3-day coaching career accelerator. So, all those who are already professional coaches and are looking to upgrade their skills, looking for a system, looking for a systematic program, and all those who are aspiring coaches, or who are yoga teachers, or who are counselors, or who are therapists, or who are looking for a career shift. This 3-day accelerator is for you. This is part of my promotions for the East Coach and Business School. And we are here to talk about today. We're talking as part of the Coaching Career Accelerator. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 coaching skills and the 5 coaching techniques that master coaches use in their coaching. So, are you ready? Are you ready with your pen and paper? Are you ready to start taking notes as to which of are those 5 coaching skills and which are those 5 coaching techniques that you want to develop, you want to focus on, and how does it help your client? How does it help you in your service to your client? And how does it help you in your service to, your own self, in your own passion, and you in your own career growth as a coach and becoming a sought after coach? Yes. So some things that I have come up with, I have my notes here, and I'm going to keep looking and knowing this works better for me and I'm able to make better contact with you without the slides. So let's start with some skills first, and then let's move on to techniques. So skills are skills that are basic skills, basic things, basic attitudes and skills that we need to develop as coaches. And the first is being a very clear communicator. And when we are able to communicate clearly, we're able to reach our clients better. We're able to reach our clients better when we communicate clearly. Now, what does that mean? It's about clearly communicating your ideas, clearly communicating your viewpoints, clearly communicating the questions you want to ask them, clearly communicating, the responding to whatever they're feeling. And the communication is not just through your words. The communication is also through your body language. It's also about how you're sitting, how open your body language is, how alert you are looking to the client's needs, how involved is your body language communicating to your client that you are interested in what they're saying. They have come to you, and most of them have an experience of not being heard at all. But they've come to you, and they've come to you not because they need help or they need to get overcome something, but they need to process their ideas with somebody who is an active part of that communication that's going on, that flow between two people. So, clear communication is very important, verbal and non-verbal. And then we also talk about the second skill that master coaches have is active listening. It's not just listening and listening to reply to people. Like that's what happens a lot of time where people they say something and then we're just looking at the next smart thing to say, or we're just looking at to reply to their question, or to defend ourselves. That's what happens most of the time in most communications. But here we are listening actively. And what does that mean? That we are listening to what the client is saying and that we are responding to their feeling and content. We're responding to what they're saying. So, say if a client says that, oh, I feel, terrible about the way my uh, or rather they don't say that, that's what you say. They don't usually use a lot of feeling words, but when they say that I feel, no, they don't say I feel. I need to correct myself because this has become so ingrained in me. But everyone doesn't communicate like that, especially those who are not trained, right? So the client comes and says, my boss screamed at me and in front of everyone for no fault of mine, and then it was so embarrassing, and then my team members, I lost respect, I lost face in front of my team members, and and I just didn't feel like sitting at work anymore. I want to quit. That's what your client is saying. And you're saying you feel insulted, you feel terrible because your boss did not behave in a professional manner with you. He behaved in a very disrespectful manner with you, and you feel betrayed, you feel insulted, and you feel like you don't have any value left in the team anymore. right? So that's responding to their feelings and responding to their content, right? So what is the content? The boss insulted them. The boss misspoke. The boss did not act in a mature way. What are the feelings? They felt insulted. They felt betrayed. They felt out of place. They felt they were not wanted, right? They were. Those are a lot of feeling words, and yeah, I have flashcards if you all want to get better at learning and getting better at your feeling, responding to feelings and needs of your clients. And you can get them on my website, shop.namitapurohit.com. Yes, it's shop.namitapurohit.com. There are take charge of your emotion flashcards, which you can use to get better in your coaching. A little commercial. Next is, so we talked about two skills. We talked about communication, which is verbal and nonverbal. We talked about active listening, which means responding to feeling and content. Yes. Then we talked about the no, we didn't talk about. We're talking about it right now. Is to be able to think on your feet, right? Because you will learn the ease model with us. You will learn all the tools and techniques with us. But it is a skill that can be developed as you do more and more coaching. This is something that you have to do more and more coaching to develop, and that is thinking on your feet. To know that, okay, if my client is saying this, this is how I'm going to strategize and coach through my client through this situation. If my client is doing this, then this is how I'm going to do. And now these things cannot be planned because you can't box human beings. You can define basic characteristics up to a certain point, but you can't box human beings, right? And they are going to throw surprises and they are going to do a lot of different things. And you want to be able to think on your feet so that you can coach your client, to success. Right now, an example of thinking on your feet is you've had a few appointments with your clients and you are talking, you have a plan for this particular appointment, right? That this is what I'm going to do. This is the mental obstacle my client has. This is how I'm going to help them overcome it. This is, this place in their body is where, this particular unhelpful thought process is stored, and we're going to release that. And we're going to do this particular guided visualization, and we're going to do this and this and this. Yeah, you have a plan, right? And I'm going to go over the homework I gave my client. Yeah, that's what your plan is. And now your client comes in with something completely out of the blue that you are not used to handling. And that's happened with my client, right? Um, with my student, with my team also, right? Like you have a client who just comes and starts crying uncontrollably in the appointment. They're inconsolable and you don't know how to deal with it because you're like, oh, if this was my friend, I would have reached out to them, hugged them, given them a napkin, given them water. Um, and if they were in person, but I'm doing this online, so I don't know what to do. Like, did I trigger this person? Did I do something? And all like, no, but you got to think on your feet in that situation that how can I continue being a coach and how can I help this client, right? And how am I going to use my communication and active listening to allow my client to feel what they're feeling, let it out, and then not let them feel embarrassed about what they're feeling, and then gradually bring them to back to as they understand their own emotions and we respond to feeling and content, and sometimes just being quiet is a strategy. Yes. So you got to think on your feet. Now, say, what if you have a scenario where your client comes and tells you that, Namita, you messaged me on WhatsApp about this thing that I said, but I felt very hurt by what you said. They could come and say that to you, and how are you going to respond to it? If you don't have enough self esteem and if you don't have enough self confidence, your response is going to be very different. But if you have enough self esteem and you're going to self confidence, you are going to respond very different to your client and you're going to be able to think very different for your client too. You're going to evaluate what was that message? Why did you say it? Was it part of your strategy or was it really a slip up? You're going to first apologize to the client for saying whatever like how it landed for them. And then you're going to explain why that's important. Now, sometimes you're dealing with clients who have gone through a lot of trauma and abuse, and they like that you are listening and hearing, and because they've not got anyone who's done that for them. Yes. And the minute you start pushing them towards action, because knowing that just them being in that victimized state or that sad state is not going to help them, they're going to start blaming you for judging them. Now, how are you going to handle that situation? So, so there are these various things that happen in a coaching appointment, and you got to learn different strategies. You got to be prepared with different scenarios and how are you going to handle them. And we teach all of that in the East Coast certification program. We have different client scenarios and how do you handle those. And in the calls, you also get to ask questions to us where we help you with all of these different things, and we strategize together. And then we put them in our client scenarios module where we keep building it up with all these different things that come up, and we also have trained modules and ready modules for you to use. So thinking on your feet is another skill that we need to develop as coaches. And then congeniality is another one. Now, I was talking to someone yesterday, and he's in a business. He's just shifted from his working life to a business. And one of the things that came up is that, yeah, this business picked up through my own connections. So I am now looking to start sales and marketing. And then he said, I hired somebody else to do the sales and marketing, but it didn't work out with them. They promised me a lot of things, but nothing happened. So I have to do this myself now. And then I was telling them that, yeah, when you want to take darshan of the deities, you got to be in in the temple, in the mandir. Similarly, if you need to market yourself, the founder needs to be involved. Cannot happen without that. And as we were thinking and we were talking, etc., right? Some of us have a certain type of personality where we are maybe very task focused, or we don't have enough empathy, or we just we're very task focused. We just focus on, like, okay, let's get these things done. We don't have the softer human touch in our dealings with people, right? And it's a skill. Like, this person had to develop that skill to further his business, about being out there in sales and marketing. Similarly, we have to be out there in our sales and marketing. uh, Not just sales and marketing, but even as coaches, we have to develop certain parts of ourselves and our personality which are not part of our grain. It goes against our grain to do those things, but we got to develop that. And I have had to develop those, and you will have to develop those. And one of those things is congeniality, is about being a congenial person. And that's going to reflect in your emails, that's going to reflect in your marketing, that's going to reflect in your videos, that's going to reflect in how you coach them and how they feel around you. Yes. So if you have congeniality, which is likability, genuine likability with your authenticity, where you are a likable person and where you're genuinely interested in the other person and their story. This is not about you growing your business. It's about you being genuinely interested in them and their business, and not just their business, but in their growth as a human being, whatever they've come to you for. If you're a business coach, you're genuinely interested in them and their business. If you are a relationship coach, you're genuinely interested in them feeling happy and successful and healed and whole in their relationships, and being congenial, being smiling, being friendly, being connected. All of those things. Developing a congenial personality is another skill that they have. And the fifth skill that we need to develop as coaches is to have um, loving boundaries. That's what I would say. We need to develop loving boundaries with our clients, because your clients are going to push you. They're going to sign up for one service, but they're going to demand 20 services. They're going to buy an economy class ticket, but they're going to expect you to give them first class services, right? And you may feel that, oh, they will go away, or they will not give me a good review, or they get upset, and it's not going to work for my coaching, and it's not going to work for my program. And I may lose this client, I'll lose the referrals, I'll lose the recommendations that'll come, so let me give in more. That doesn't work. You give them, for an economy class ticket, you give them first class service. Next, they're going to ask you, can I want to sit in the cockpit? And next, they're going to tell you, I want to fly the plane. So it doesn't end there, right? So how can you develop friendly boundaries with them, where you say that, hey, this is part of the service, and the service that you're asking for is available for you, but this is the engagement that we need to develop. You need to sign a different contract for that, and I'm happy to do that for you. Right now, how do you tell them that, hey, it's not about pushing people away, about Boundaries are not about pushing people away. Boundaries are about telling people that this is how we work, right? It's a contract of work. You have a hour that you set up with them. So these are five skills that I thought that I should share with you that master coaches do. And let's now talk about five coaching techniques that master coaches use in their coaching, right? So we have five skills we talked about is communication, active listening, congeniality, and boundaries, right? So communication, active listening, congeniality, thinking on your feet, and boundaries. These are the five things that are there. The skills that you should think about developing, and we teach all of this in our coach certification program. And we teach a lot more skills and a lot more things and a lot more scenarios and a lot more. Like we equip you fully to be out there and be a fantastic coach. Yes. Now let's talk about some coaching techniques, right? That master coaches use. First is they have a screening process. They don't take everybody as their client. I am not a catch for all coach. I have a standard. I have a standard. My company has a standard about who we are going to work with and who we are not going to work with. Yes, we're very clear on that. Now, why do I have a standard? Because I don't want to waste my time working with clients who are not going to put in the effort. Because they're not going to put in the effort, they're not going to get the benefit out of the coaching. Because they're not going to get benefit out of the coaching, they are going to complain, they're going to whine. And then when they don't, and they complain and they whine, and then they spread bad energy around. And plus, I don't want to sit in an appointment with somebody who's not willing to do the work. I don't want to do that. Yes. So they have a very strong master coaches have a very clear screening process to understand if the person that they're serving is a great fit. And I'm telling you that we said this is not a coaching technique. They're not even coaching anybody. No, they are deciding whether they can coach this person or not. They want to coach that person or not. And it starts right there. And why is it a coaching technique? Because when they are screening the client, and also it's also not just about whether the client is willing to put the hard work or not. That's just one of the things that we look for at ease. Another thing could be is that they're looking for, like we had this come up to us. Um, I had someone from my known circle reach out to me saying that, hey, wow, you run a leadership coaching company. You know what? We have this business. We have a great leadership team, and we do look outside to get all of this help. So why can't we just come to you and talk to you and get the help we need over here? Get for our coaching, and they have it's a multinational company with a turnover of $500 million a year. It's a massive company, correct? So then we talked to, the MD reached out, and then the MD's assistant was reaching out to us, and we were going back and forth with the coaching and et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. And then it came to a point where they wanted us to be a catch all bucket for all the coaching that they wanted. And we said no. We said that we can't. We said that we can coach your leaders into inside out leadership. We can coach them into being solid in themselves. We can coach them in all the skills that they need to have as leaders and build their skills and things like that. But we can't coach them in business success, in increasing shareholder value, in understanding how to sell your product better, which markets to search for, that product and things like that. We can't do that, and we had to say no to a lot of things. And what happened over there is that we stopped getting a response from them after we said, we want to be very clear about what we can serve in and what we cannot serve in, because it's going to be a disaster for them. It's going to be a disaster for us, and we want to stay in our genius zone. So after a while, we just stopped hearing from them because there was no response. And then then 6 months later, I met the MD in a party recently at a common thing, and he walked over to me and said that, Namita, why did we not work together? And I said, because we wrote whatever we could serve you and we couldn't serve you in, and then after that we stopped getting any response from your HR. So we weren't sure if we should push further, and we usually don't push our clients and or potentials, because we let them take their own time to decide. And we did send her an email a few times and we stopped getting a response. And he's like, no, no, actually, it was me. My HR came up to me to ask me, answers for this, but then I just didn't know and I lost track. And then I wasn't sure if this is going to help me, not help me, and things like that. And I said, hey, let me know a good time where we can connect. And he started asking me exactly what we do and things like that. And then I explained again to him, which we had sent everything over email. We had also been made ourselves available for a call, but it just wasn't the right time for them. And then after we said no to 20 things, we said yes to that one thing we can coach them in. And now we're on track to, make progress ahead, right? So now why is screening important? Because you don't want to get into a place where you're not in your genius zone. You don't want to deal with a client who's not willing to work on themselves. And it's also at the best level of service for your client. If you're not skilled in marital issues, right? And a client comes to you for saving their marriage, um, it's in service to the client, it's in coaching service to the client to tell them that you can't do it, that you're not the expert, but find another contact for them who could help them, or tell them that I can't help you, but maybe you could look for these type of services who could help you, and I wish you all the very best. That is in the spirit of coaching, and therefore it's a coaching technique. So that's technique number one. Technique number two is a technique that you need to develop is disputation, right? Disputation is a very strong technique that all coaches need to develop. Um, and it's about knowing the different types of disputations, knowing when to use which type of disputation of the client's belief. So the clients have a lot of beliefs that are not serving them very well. And because of that, they're not able to grow to their full potential. Because of that, they're not able to achieve happiness in their lives, right? So these clients, now, how do you help them in changing those beliefs? And we teach you the specific steps of how to do that. And one of the techniques we teach you is how to help them transform those beliefs. And we call them disputation. You could call them rectification or whatever. But it needs to be done very smoothly. It needs to be done in a very smooth way without threatening the client, without the client feeling like a fool about having those beliefs in the first place. And the client feeling actually supported and encouraged as they go through this very difficult journey of knowing that it's their thought process that has contributed to most of the problems in their lives. Yes. So, how do you do that? How do you bring that client to that openness? What are the things you say to help them shift their beliefs? And sometimes those beliefs don't shift by you saying one sentence. You have to work gradually with disputation in dissolving that particular belief. And that sometimes takes a few sessions, sometimes takes there's a lot of introspection exercises that you need to give to your clients systematically, etc., to help them do that. Now, which category of disputation are you going to use? Are you going to use the logical, or are you going to use the didactic? Are you going to use the authoritarian? Are you going to use scholastic? Which one are you going to use? And there are so many more. I've just listed a few. So getting really good and really smooth at disputation so that they feel transformed without feeling the pain of that, oh, that old identity was terrible. And why was I even with it? And without them feeling terrible about all of that. And making it easy, for their transformation. And that's a great skill. I mean, that's a great technique that is used. Now, some people coaches don't use disputation, and that's okay. But in my humble opinion, disputation is the most one of the most powerful techniques that you use in your coaching. And powerful questioning, it kind of leads. Powerful questioning is what leads towards disputation. It kind of gives you leeway into disputations. But powerful questioning is asking. One of the key questions that we ask in our coaching is, what is it that you're doing or not doing that is contributing to our issue? Right. So we do the active listening, the communication, the congeniality, and all of that in a very authentic way, where after a few sessions, once we've developed enough trust and we've developed enough things, and even in the first session, after you've they have faith in you and they trust you that you mean well. One of the questions to ask is this, and there are many such questions to ask, powerful questions to ask, to help your client think and to help your client think ahead, because it's not about you showing that you're the heroine of their life and, hey, look at me, I'm the one who helped you make that transformation. It's not about you. It's about your client. Your client is the star of their movie. and you're here to support them, help them as a spot buy, as a director, as a producer, as a in every possible way to help them grow. So, what are those powerful questions to ask them so that they think? And people are intelligent. You ask them the right questions, and those who really want to work on themselves, and therefore the screening is important. Um, you ask them those questions, they are going to think and they're going to come up with really, really brilliant answers and brilliant insights. And they are going to take that next step. Yes. So then your disputation becomes easy when you've asked that powerful question. So that's one thing. And keeping the client focused on the outcome, because when they come to you, we are very clear that let's focus on the top three outcomes you want to work with us on. And then once the client starts feeling some success in whatever outcomes they came to you, they will feel their life is getting better. They will be happier. They will be feeling successful and feeling light, and they'll be feeling all of those things. But when they are um, then they start focusing on other things, like, what do I do with my financial investments? Okay, but my wife says this, my husband acts like this, or my boss, or my maid, oh, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, or like, oh, I really wanted to get better at scuba diving, but I never got the time for that. Or it gets into like so many different things. And they haven't yet achieved all the outcomes that they'd come to you for and what they're paying for. And how do you keep them focused? That's a technique. How do you keep them focused in the appointment? How do you not let the appointment go fly away with whatever they're, trying to do and say? Now, the thing is that they feel very happy that they found someone to talk to. But it's not your coaching ethic to just sit and listen and make money and let them keep coming for sessions after sessions and signing up for another 6-month package with you, right? It's not an honest service that you do to your client. And how do you keep them focused on uh, you know, focus on the outcomes that they're looking for, right? So, how do you minimize the distractions? And how do you tell them that, yes, I have made a note of these things? We can discuss them, but then how do we stay focused? And just that one line doesn't work. There are many different things. So, this is one of the skills that you want to develop, techniques that you want to develop. And then visualization or mental conditioning, right? So how also getting good at visualization techniques, helping your clients with visualization, helping them get it better, helping them practice, not helping your clients, sorry, that's my job as teaching my students who are becoming coaches. But how do you as a coach get better at doing guided visualizations for your clients to help them embrace their future self, to help them leave the past trauma, to help them process some of their grief better, to help them get more clarity through their visualizations that you do for them, those guided visualizations? And how do you help them overcome their mental conditioning through visualizations, energy releases, and so many different things? Those are some of the techniques that master coaches use. So we've talked about 5 skills and 5 techniques that master coaches use in their coaching. One is the techniques that they're very specific about who they want to serve. They have powerful questions, they have great disputation techniques, and they keep the client focused on the outcomes, and they have visualization and masterful techniques. And there are so many more things that master coaches do, and that is something that we teach in the East Coast certification program. And we're very happy to welcome you inside. Early bird bonuses, 2 early bird bonuses are going to expire very soon on March 7th. One of them is a one-on-one appointment with me. If you sign up for the coach certification program, enroll for the classic or the narc abuse specialization or the couple strong specialization or the coaching leader certification. And so you get a one-on-one coaching 1 hour appointment with me where we work on helping you grow as a coach and helping you grow your business as a coach. And if that means me disputing some of your beliefs and helping you work through certain things, yeah, that's included. My service is valued much more than what you pay for the coach certification program, and I am giving you that bonus as a service to you. And the second bonus that you get, and that expires again on March 7th, is the Define Your Coaching Niche bonus, which is a 2 hour recorded training along with a worksheet for you to finish. And you also get the slides where you learn how to be very clear about, you get exposed to all the niches in the coaching industry and, which niche would be, fixing which niche would be right for you. It's a recorded training. So there's a lot of Q&A of other students who had attended that training, and you would benefit from that too. So these two bonuses are expiring very soon. Enrollment to the East Coast certification program is open right now. It's open till March 15th, but the bonuses expire March 7th. And what makes my program different is that it has been created in service to all the students who want to become coaches. And every need of yours has been taken care of. Whatever you need. My goal is when you come, I want you to feel ready to go outside and start coaching. I don't want this to be theory only. I want you to be ready with every possible tool in your toolkit and knowing how to use that toolkit, and also your own inner work of being, sorted, self-forgiving, and applying all those coaching techniques in your own self before you go outside and start coaching others. Right. So I have put everything that you need to put, be ready for the coaching to be a coach outside, and we make sure that you learn it well. We get feedback on our coach, good feedback course, great feedback on our course, but we get even greater feedback on the assignments that we have created from our students. Our students just love our assignments because it puts everything together. Imagine people liking homework, but they like our assignments because it puts everything together. It gives them massive clarity and it gives them massive confidence as they're going out to coach. Another thing is you're not alone when you join my program. We have a nice community of like minded people who are interested in coaching based on Eastern wisdom and Western psychology. So you have a community that you join and you have friends for life. And you could go and, like, I've given you 5 skills and 5 coaching techniques, and you could go struggle on your own, try to learn those things. And that's not enough. There's so much more that comes with coaching. Now, you could go and do that on your own, but at the same time, you get the support. You don't have to do the learning curve that I had to go through. And we keep updating our course, adding new stuff to our course. All the Q&A that we have with students, we do cut those and we add them to relevant sections in our course modules to help you, so that when you don't have those questions. And we find that when you see a repeat question, we also, so this is a course which is a living course that keeps updating and upgrading into itself. You learn the ease model. You learn how to use astrology, Ayurveda. You learn how to coach a person. So by helping them balance their stuff at their body, their energy, their mind, their intellect, and their spirituality. This is the only program that does that. There's no other program that does that. And this is why I use this model myself. My team East coaches use this model ourselves in our coaching of our clients, and we see much faster results for our clients when they use this particular model and they coach themselves, when we coach them, right? So you get that. And the courses are, you probably need self learning time of 90 to 120 minutes a week. Some do it between 60 to 90 minutes a week. So it depends on how you learn and how fast is your learning and things like that. And you have 4 calls a month with me and our coach certification school lead, Ramya ji, where you have the chance to ask your questions and get clarification. And even if you don't have a question, when you join the calls with and there are other people asking questions, sometimes they are sitting in your psyche, and you get a lot of insights too with the discussion. So we make sure that's there. You also get access to a community where you can post your questions, post your realizations, post your strategies and things like that. And there's nice discussion that happens on those communities. Also, you can you manage your time? Yes, we've had senior vice presidents, CEOs of companies do this program along with a full time job, along with raising children, and along with doing whatever they need to do to run their life in the US. And in India also. All types of busyness is accounted for. You could finish this course in 3 months too, but the reason is we give you more time so that you have more time for this knowledge to seep in, and you have more time for questions, more time to process your realizations, etc., and more time to fit in your adult life with us. Yes. And what if you don't finish the program? You can go on an extension plan. So, our service commitment to you is 6 months of coach certification training, which is uh, access to the modules, access to our calls, access to our community, and access to our assignment checking and feedback and the whole certification process. Now, what if you don't finish in 6 months? You have access to the course for a year. That's what we give. But if you don't finish your certification in 6 months, then you can sign up for a membership, an extension plan, where every month it's a membership. So you pay every month and you get added, you get those certification services and those calls and things like that. You get everything, right? So you could do that. And the this is an investment you make in your career. It's an investment you won't regret. This is business. Yes. This is not just something you do to get better at, in life, right? This is an investment you make in yourself, investment you make in your career. And this is a unique program that helps you work on yourself as your own client. Of course, this does not replace one on one coaching. So if you have massive issues with emotions or unhealed stuff or confusions, or you won't be able to be successful in the program, because we see that people get very restless and then they're not able to follow through. They can't understand a lot of things. And those are the candidates who need coaching actually with us. So, but if you have a handle on yourself, we all go through emotional highs and lows, and you are able to bounce back, and you are able to, stay focused, and you have the tech skills to be able to log in and to, do this, to, download the app, so that we have learning on the go as well, and, do your stuff and post assignments and things like that. This is a good program for you. And it's an investment you make in your career. So the classic program is for the classic, the program that is our signature program, the program that has the full ease model, is something we have been selling for um, $3,500. And for those who are looking to specialize further, they could sign up for the specializations too, which are, sorry, I'm just trying to pull up the screen here. You could sign up for those specializations of becoming a you could become a narc abuse recovery coach. You could become a couple strong coach. You could become a leadership coach. And you're like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to just do the classic. Do the classic. And through that, also, you could specialize. But you would have to do your own research for those specializations, for those three specializations. Uh, and as you see here, when you do enroll now, join the March cohort, this is what you have. And we have the classic at $3,500. At 3,30,400 rupees, which includes all the Indian prices here, include 18% GST. So you could choose any one of these and specialize. And then the specializations are at $3,79,000 or 3,99,000, no, $3,999. Yes. And this is a very small investment. Like I was mentioning yesterday, with this, you could make $12,000 a year. If you follow the process, we also teach business of coaching, and that's an add on. So you could buy whatever add on you want. So you have certified life coach. So you have classic, and you could have the classic 6 months business membership also, which is at 4235. A lot of people opt for classic plus 6 months business membership. So they actually get the support they need with us for a year. And they get 6 months of business membership after the certification is closed. They complete the certification, then they start focusing on developing their business. And I think this is the best pressure they create on themselves, so that they are forced to start their business. Because I know I have people who've seen that they do the coach certification, they don't sign up for business, and then they don't have any impetus to start their business, or they feel lost and alone. But if you just do it together, you also get 1 month. So you pay for 5 months, but you get 6 months of membership with us. So that's that. And you could also do narcissistic abuse recovery specialization. So you have the specialization, so you get everything in classic. Plus, on top of that, you get our special modules, the exact steps we use to help people recover from narcissistic abuse. And you could use that and specialize as a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. And the same thing, also, there's an add on for the 6 months business membership, as the same as earlier. And same with couples coach specialization. If you want to get better at couple strong and relationship modules and things like that, then that's worth $1,500, and the heal strong is worth 2240. But because we're bundling it together, okay, this is 1,500 too. Because we're bundling it together, you're getting it only at almost like a $499 add-on. So 3,500 plus 499. So you're getting it at one third the price. And you could also get the business membership. Again, you pay for 5 months, but you get 6. And the last is coaching leader. There are some people who don't want to become a professional coach, but they are leaders and they want to get better at their coaching skills, so that they can build inside out self leadership. They build influence, build executive presence, and they get better at motivating their teams and help them with great performance for themselves and for your team and for your uh, company, right? So there are core leadership struggles that are there around motivating people and managing people, and you are able to overcome that with this coaching leader and people manager certificate program, and that's at 3,79,000. There's no need for business modules there because these people don't want to do business. They want to get better at coaching as a leader, not leadership coaching, but coaching as a leader. If you want to do leadership coaching, you could join the classic and become a great leadership coach. Yes. So having said that, would like to call it a day now, and I look forward to serving many of you inside with this coach certification program. This is a great investment you make in transforming yourself and in working on serving the world in their transformation. A very small investment you make in your business. Imagine how businesses have changed, right? You would have to first have an office space and furniture and pay those property taxes or the rental. And people come to your office and then you talk to them and then you do things and then you get paid and then so many overheads going on. But now businesses like this, helping businesses, have become very simple, where all you need is a laptop or a phone and you could start coaching people. So the only investment that you make in such businesses is in your own skills and techniques and in becoming good at that, right? So imagine you're not paying rent, you're not paying property taxes, you're not paying water, utility, etc. You could work out of home. You could work from any time, anywhere. You could, as I talked about it yesterday, you could build your business flexible around your life, right? Say you have aging parents to take care of, or you have children, young children to take care of, or you're just, your spouse moved and you have to follow them, or you moved countries and things like that. This profession doesn't get affected by anything. And the only investment you make is in your skills and is in your thing, in your techniques, and in having a like-minded community around you so you can learn from each other and grow. We all need communities. I am in hundreds of communities for each and everything that I need help with, paid communities, right? And because unpaid ones don't have so much action. I am on many unpaid ones also, and I see a lot of people just advertising their services over there. So we need this support to do a business, a coaching business, and to make a career change, etc. And that's the only investment you actually make when you're starting out. And there are zero cost ways to market yourself, and we teach that also in the business modules. Uh, and and this investment gives you massive value in your own transformation and growth, and in having these great skills, and in setting up this great business where you keep getting better as a coach, and then the sky is the limit to how much you can charge. Talked about that yesterday. I'll talk about that more in detail tomorrow. About that, it is easy to make six figures as a coach, and we'll share some techniques tomorrow. So think about this as an investment. This is not a cost. This is an investment, and make that investment, because I know you. Many of you have been on my list for many years, but haven't signed up for the program. But sign up now and fulfill your dream and desire to be a coach and serve the many people waiting for you to show up. Bye bye.